Welcome to the show, everyone. Thank you for being here. I see names that I've never seen before. I guess streaming at weird hours brings out the mysterious subscribers from the dark side of the earth, where it's night, whenever here it's day, and vice versa. It's not early. It's just that I have a weird sleeping schedule. I go to bed at around 8 to 9 a.m. and I wake up at 5 p.m. Yeah, so I go to bed at 9 a.m. and I wake up at 5. It's normal. It's fine. It's fine. People keep asking me, what time is that? What time? It's time for a stream. It's time to entertain people. That's what it's time for. Also, today is Romania's national holiday. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Planning to take my wife out. Going to take my wife out today. And if I wake up, though, like if I have the energy to wake up, maybe I'll be able to take her out shopping. Excellent way to spend the 1st of December. It is the night shift, yes. It's better than the graveyard shift. The graveyard shift is the worst. Why is it called the graveyard shift? Does it even have anything to do with graveyards? Like, someone please find out, why is it called the graveyard shift? Now I'm really curious. Is it like it's the shift that's going to kill you? Why is it the graveyard shift? The One Templar is happy that I finally stream when he is up. There's going to be some diminishing returns, won't it, if I keep streaming twice a day. Like, at one point, people will be fed up with me. There's only so much you can stream until people just go, dude, leave me alone. It's like, this guy's boring. Let me find someone else. So I am curious about those diminishing returns. Yeah, what transpired when I was asleep? Oh yes, Germany. I read the trailer for the new German government. They have a commission. So let's see. Out of the things that I learned, they want 16-year-olds to be able to vote. They want immigrants to be able to have an easy path of citizenship so that they can vote. They want Germany to be a nation of immigrants. They want to close down all the nuclear power plants. What else do they want? Oh yes, the only thing that I was happy about and that got me excited is that they will allow people to change their legal documents from male to female and vice versa. Only if you state that to identify. So no, nothing else that's needed. You just go there and it's like, I want a female document, and there you go. Well, here you go, madam. And they also will give a lot of benefits for what they call rainbow families. And I'm like, you must be an absolute moron not to take advantage of this. I mean, it's the meta, it's the patch. Why not? Why wouldn't you take advantage? It's not even taking advantage. I mean, they're literally giving it to you. All you have to do is to ask for the paperwork. That's it. You just go there and you say, I want the paperwork. They give it to you. And then you get benefits. Then you get perks. Why would you not do that? I don't understand. Like, someone please explain to me. Why would you not do that? Yeah, it's what they call. It's what the German government call it. It's a rainbow family. A rainbow family. Let me see if Kubusk Zibun is here, because I want to bring Kubusk Zibun in the chat. I think Kubusk Zibun is the only patriotic German that I know. It's so weird. Like, the only patriotic Germans that I know exist are Germans that love the European Union. Like, that is patriotism in Germany, loving the EU. But no, Kubus Zibun is literally the only patriotic German that I know. And he likes Prussia. He likes the Prussian Empire. He's like the Prussian kings and Prussia this and Prussia that. So it's kind of funny to tease him whenever I notice that his government is doing something interesting. Yes, so Kubusk Zibun is here. And I was talking about... No, not the new Germans. No. I was talking about the trailer that your coalition in Germany released recently. They're talking about how they're going to govern. And they are going to make several changes. They want 16 years old to vote. So kids that are 16, they're going to get voting rights. That's going to be hard to pull off, though, because they will have to change the constitution, but maybe they can manage, hopefully. Because you need 16-year-olds in order to support some of the other plans that they have. They want Germany to become a nation of immigrants, and they want an easy path to citizenship for immigrants. And then they want to turn off the nuclear power so that they can be more dependent on Russia, of course. And then, this is the one that I would like the most, is the one with the rainbow families. So they're going to allow people to simply get legal documents, change their gender just by identifying. So you go to the office, to the bureaucrat, and you say, I would like an ID card for a woman. And they will go, here you go, madam. And of course, yes, transferring more power to the European Union, because imagine being a here's the thing. If they transfer more power to the EU, shouldn't they be paid less? Because then they have less to think. Like, the European Union will do the thinking for them. So why should they be paid the same amount of wage as if they're, because when you're a politician for the country, you have a lot on your mind. It's a difficult job, so you need to be paid a lot. But when you delegate more power to the EU, then you have less to think. You have less to do, so you should be paid less. Doesn't that make sense? Huh? Cut money from the rich. Tax the politician. Complaining about work condition as a streamer is just as bad as complaining about your own housekeeping. Ridiculous and bourgeoisie as fuck. Yeah, we're going to go through the Guardian article. I'm just waiting for more people to join. There is only one reason to complain about streaming. It's one, and it's very acceptable. Like, I will accept this. The censorship, right? So there's a lot of stress. There's a lot of, how should I say, anxiety. Because you don't know if you say something and you're going to get banned. You don't know if, like, the next day your channel will be gone. So there's that. That is the only thing that I accept. It's like, yes, the only stress is the censorship, because if at least you become a boring person, then people start leaving you gradually, and you kind of notice, okay, well, my channel isn't doing very nice. I should look for other job opportunities. Maybe I can be a Uber driver or something, right? So it's kind of like, you get the vibe. But when you get banned, it happens overnight. One night you go to sleep, everything is fine. The next day, boom, your channel is gone. So a lot of people are stressed because of that. Super chatting based on title. Merry Christmas. Thank you, Colin. I appreciate it. No, I'm going to read the article. There's an entire article with people moaning about how hard it is to stream. I remember there was, I think it was a woman that Kotaku or Polygon interviewed. I forgot which. And she was like, do you know how hard it is to stream? Like, I have to put on makeup for 2 hours. And I'm like, okay, first of all, if you put makeup for 2 hours, you're not doing it right. Like, my wife can do it in 1. All right. Secondly, you can work from home and you make millions of dollars. Shut the fuck up. Like, what are we talking about? Just shut the fuck up. You got to put makeup for 2 hours and you make millions of dollars. Yes, other people have to dig ditches in the snow or in the rain, and they don't make even half as you. Jesus Christ. Yeah, sad Marxist noises. Maybe I could be a lawyer or a doctor. Well, I could, but it's kind of difficult because I would have to give the exam again, so it would be like at least 1 year where I don't do anything. So, yeah, I will save money for rainy days, but I can't now because I'm paying for my mortgage. So once I finish paying my mortgage, I'll probably save money for rainy days. And then I will be like, you know what? I don't care. If I get banned, I get banned. C'est la vie. Although I gotta say, it's addictive. Like what I'm doing, it's very entertaining. Talking to people from all around the world and entertaining people is nice. Going through the news and talking about stuff is nice. By the way, as I keep mentioning, I talk with a lot of taxi drivers and hairstylists recently, and waiters and whatnot. It's just to, like, see how they think about the world. Because I like getting the pulse from the average Joe. And I swear to God, like, some of the conversations, I would love to record them. And I'm pretty sure, like, the taxi drivers wouldn't mind. But the problem is they would violate terms of service. But, all right. So the last conversation I had with a taxi driver is probably something that I can say here. we were talking about vaccines, right? Like when you talk about vaccines, boom, everyone, all the moderators from Google, they turn their chairs and they look at you with frowny faces. And I was asking the taxi driver, it's like, are you vaccinated? And he goes, no, why should I? And I say, well, it's like a seatbelt, right? Like you have to wear a seatbelt. And if you have to wear a seatbelt, like it's okay if the government forces you to also take the vaccine, right? Safety for everyone. And the taxi driver tells me, when I was a kid, I was like, oh my God, he's telling me about his childhood. He's like, when I was a kid, my mom put a suppository up my asshole. But that doesn't mean that I would like the government to put a fat cock in my ass now either. And I'm like, oh, sorry, I didn't get that because I need to translate it from Romanian to English. Yeah, he said that when he was a kid, he had to take suppositories up his ass as treatment. But that doesn't mean he would consent to the government shoving a big fat dildo up his ass. And I was like, oh, well, you win this time, taxi driver. You win the argument this time. Hi, V. I hope you're well. Honestly, I disagree with your take. As a landscaper turned programmer, I'd much rather be outside digging holes through rock in the rain than sitting in an office rotting away. What's stopping you, though? How can you disagree with me? What is stopping you? You literally can just do that. Do you know how much people want to hire workers now? Do you know just how much people need menial labor? I mean, if you apply, they will hire you. You'd probably make more money. You give me $100 donation next time. Isn't it curious? Twitter and 2 other big CEOs resigned right before the Maxine Waters trial. It's not Twitter and 2 other big CEOs. I think it's 5 or 4 CEOs in total resigning in the same day. That was interesting, yes. I'm not implying anything, I'm just saying. What are your thoughts on people who say children should be able to determine their own bedtime? Does a child have a lived experience worth considering? Also get some sleep. Who the fuck says that children should be able to determine their own bedtime? This one is difficult because one of the things that annoyed me the most when I was a kid was having to go to bed. It was the worst. And it was very unreasonable. Like the hour was picked randomly. It wasn't me. I think at the end of the day, it teaches kids that there are some rules, right? Like it teaches kids that you need to follow rules and a schedule. Usually parents send their kids to bedtime, let's be honest, because the parent wants to just relax. It's hard to relax when the kid is still up there and is still doing things in the house, right? At least it's 9 p.m., kids are to bed, and maybe now you can fuck your wife or something. So that is the main reason why parents send their kids to bed. Now, I do think it's healthy for a kid to understand that there are rules because I know what happens when you spoil a child. Some of the biggest assholes in the entire world that I had the displeasure meeting with are kids that come from rich parents who make absolutely everything in their power in order to give that kid everything whenever they want it instantly. So no rules, no nothing. And these are the kids that usually end up assaulting their mom or something like that. I mean, I know a case because when I was at law school, there was this single mom. And she didn't know why, but like, as I talked to her, I figured it out. She always did everything that's right for Johnny. And Johnny was, just like everything she could. And one day, Johnny wanted to go out with a couple of friends and do marijuana. And she said no. And Johnny got angry. And I'm thinking, maybe if she was able to set some rules for Johnny when Johnny was younger and a lot more easy to dominate, it wouldn't have gotten to that position. So yes, kids need to learn about discipline because you're going to learn discipline in life, right? You're not going to get your way all the time, every time. You're going to go to school, you're going to go to university, and sometimes you need to know when to shut the fuck up, even if you're right and even if you have the moral high ground. Here's an example. When I was at med school, there was the physiology exam. I forgot the question, but I still know what was happening. The girl in front of me that was supposed to take the exam, was an oral exam, had an argument with the teacher. And it was a medical argument, like she was suggesting that she is right, the teacher was suggesting that the teacher is right. And it was like just such a minute thing. It wasn't even, like, let's say that wouldn't have even give her a bad grade at the exam, because she knew the subject. But she insisted on arguing with the teacher and then told the teacher to check the book. My eyes were widened. I was like, WTF are you doing, you stupid bitch? Because I'm right after you and I don't want an angry teacher to examine me. But here we go. So the teacher checks the book. Turns out that she is right. And then the teacher closes the book. And you can visibly see that the teacher is literally shaken. So now the teacher starts asking more and more difficult questions to the point where the chica doesn't know how to answer. And she ends up with an F and fails the exam. So I go out and I start, she's crying, she's pissing her eyes. And, I was a little bit upset as well, because now the asshole teacher was also a little bit pissed off at me. And I told her, it's like, well, at least you had your say. At least, you may have got an F, but at least you told that teacher what's what. So what is my point in this, right? The system is not always fair. There is very little you can do. I mean, she could have filed a complaint. She could have got a commission to ask her questions, but the teacher could still prove to her that she doesn't know, because she wasn't a straight A student. Right? If you're not a straight A student and you start arguing with the teacher, you lose. The teacher will always know what to ask you, and you will not know how to answer everything, and you lose. So my point is, yes, the system is unfair. Can you change the system? Yes, become a teacher. That's how you can change the system. But until then, you need to know when to shut the fuck up. During an exam, okay? Like during an exam, your purpose is to get a high grade so that when you get the diploma, you get a diploma with a high grade and people hire you. That's why you're there. That is the purpose of why you're at the university. You're not at the university to change the university. You're not at the university to educate the teacher. Now, if you want to mock a teacher, do it at least at the beginning of the year, when they will forget, hopefully, right? But that's your interest, why you're there. Like, you always need to, why am I here? What am I doing? Why am I at this university? Am I at this university to shame the teacher, to educate? No. Okay. Well, and, all right, maybe you are. Maybe you are at the university to educate the teacher. Some people might do that. They want to change the world. Okay, don't piss your eyes when you get an F. I mean, you wanted to educate the teacher, right? You educated him. I'm pretty sure the teacher will not be able to sleep at night. My mom friends makes the greatest chocolate cake ever. Why are you telling me this? I'm hungry. Thank you, XYZ. In a third world country, you can do that and they will still pass you. They pass you here. It depends. Like, you need to read the person. Because that's another skill that people should have. There are teachers that know about jokes. There are teachers that, that they're willing to take an L. But I'm telling you this. If it's an exam and the teacher is next to his assistant and there's probably other people in the room listening, that is the last place where you want to prove the teacher wrong. Like, very few teachers are going to have the necessary ego to take that L. And why do you want to do that? Like, no, you're not going to get acclaim. People aren't going to clap. You're not going to get roses thrown at you. No one is going to get like, oh my God, he actually knew more than the teacher. It's pointless. Don't do it. I'm planning. I don't know if I'm going to attend the parade. But I'll probably go and have the celebrations, and I'll, take my wife, and we'll probably look at the flowers and whatnot. So, I do plan to go out, yes. Some people want to change the world. I just want to change your oil. I love that. I had so many vindictive teachers who would do that revenge failure. I have absolutely zero faith in human. Man, like teachers are people as well. And some people go mad with power. And you have teachers that maybe they have a bad day at home. Maybe they had an argument with the other teachers in the teachers' conference room. You don't know, right? So I have seen hysterical teachers. I have seen spiteful teachers. I've seen teachers that don't give a shit. You just need to learn the type of person and adjust accordingly, right? So if it's a spiteful teacher, don't contradict them. If it's a teacher that likes to joke, feel free to crack one. It really depends. I'm going to write a feminist blog about people keep asking me when I'm going to have a kid, and I'm going to say how oppressed men are with that question. Like, when are you going to have a kid? Whenever I feel like it, whenever I want to. Do you have plans for how you will parent your children? Well, it depends if it's a boy or a girl, but I don't really. I don't have plans because I don't think anyone is prepared. And you just have to learn as you go. I don't want to read psychology books and other shit because I read psychology books for myself. It's all garbage. So I'll figure it out. I have my wife to help me. We'll figure it together. Find a way. Hopefully, I won't do what my parents did. It's like, go to grandma. Here, have this kid. I'll take it in 7 years. I grew up with grandmama. And it's what my parents did. Although, I kind of understand. Like, they were working under socialism from dusk till dawn. They didn't have time to raise me. So it's kind of like a Romanian tradition. Like, people do get raised by grandmas here all the time. Mentat, when are you going to go to sleep? See, now I get to ask the question. If you have a kid, don't throw bricks at them. Why would... Who does that? Who the... I don't even want to know. It's kind of worrisome having a kid nowadays, Like, at least it's good that I'm in Romania, but this whole idea that, like, the schools own your kids is something that really disappoints me. The mentality, it's like, no, you're the parent. You're the parent, you just get to fuck and make a taxpayer for us, and then you don't get to have a say in his education. Like, let the schools figure it out. And I'm like, no. Why? No, but seriously, it's so fucked up. Like, there are leftist politicians in the United States that literally say what they think. And it's like, yeah, it's not the role of the parents to educate the kid. And I don't care what education you're giving to that kid. It's like, the world has lived without experts for tens of thousands of years. I think we can figure out how to live without them even now. When was the last time Army beat Navy? Hasn't Navy won the most recent games? Wait, the Army and the Navy are having games? That's so weird. All right, let's read the article, which I have used as the stream title. So, again, I think that the only complaint you can have about being a streamer is when you're complaining about censorship, right? Because that is very stressful. That is very anxious. It's not in your control. So, yeah, I get it. But complaining about streaming conditions, fuck off. Gamers are making millions. Look, all right? Making millions. So millionaires whining about their job. And this makes front page news. With millionaires complaining about their job. Yes, in a time where businesses are closed and people are considered non-essential, you have the ones that still get to make money whining about... By the way, I listened to the Austrian what is it? Chancellor Prime. I don't know what the fuck. It was an Austrian man, a politician. And he comes up and says, this was during the first lockdown. He says that people who are unessential, and then he instantly corrects himself, like people who have jobs that are unessential. I was like, I see why she did it. So June 2018. This is written in 2021, and they're talking about 2018. And he sits at a table in a needlessly fancy restaurant in LA. There is no such thing as a needlessly fancy restaurant, by the way. But anyway, so he's sitting at a very expensive restaurant with a bunch of teenagers. Some of them are over 21 and they are able to order alcohol, but most are sticking to Coke or sparkling water with their overpriced steaks. These are some of the up-and-coming stars of Twitch, the live streaming platform that now broadcasts about 2 billion hours per month. And they seem to be celebrated as VIPs in the area based on who has the most views and subscribers. Okay, so you're a Twitch streamer and you're a millionaire at the age of 18 to 21. And you're complaining. Is this real? And by the way, I'm supposed to sympathize with them? Okay. Not only that, not only are a millionaire, you are a celebrity as well. They are stopped in the street and airports by people who want a selfie or an autograph. By the way, this is the most weirdest thing. Like, I hope I don't experience it. I'm an introverted person. And I got stopped once in London. It was a very beautiful, was a very beautiful moment when a lovely black lady at a hairstylist stopped me and it's like, "You're V?" I'm like, holy shit. And another time it was in my country. But I'm introverted. I don't know what to say. I freeze. And not to mention that the thing that really annoys me is that they recognize me and I'm starting to think, what the fuck are they? It's like, school, high school, university. Oh, I saw you on YouTube. Oh, I see. And not to mention, like, you know, when you're a right-winger like myself, you don't know if they want to punch you or not. Because, like, some people, like, you get haters. But it's lovely, nonetheless. You know, after the emotions are gone, after I calm down, it's like, oh, that was such lovely gesture. It's like, so nice. Unlike pro gamers whose job is to be good at enough at video games to win tournaments, you know, I love it. It's like, yeah, do you know that a pro gamer probably spends a lot more time playing the game, and on top of that, they can lose. So there's no guarantee that they're going to make money. Yeah, they lose their sponsorship. So anyway, streamer job is to be entertaining. All right. Back in 2018, streaming was already a huge deal. Now, bolstered by the pandemic, an ever-growing audience is being pumped into Twitch. I'm fucking real, man. It's like they are so lucky. They are so fucking lucky. For every Twitch streamer, there's probably a million other people that want to have their job. Unlike rock stars, however, streamers are not really known for hard partying. What the fuck are you talking about? Did you not see Ice Poseidon? Talking to the people around the table, I was indeed astonished and honestly worried by how hard they worked. The woman sitting next to me told me that she was streaming for 8 to 10 hours a day. And she wasn't live, she was curating her social media, responding to fans, scouting for brand partnership or blah, blah, blah. I don't get it. Like, this bourgeois Guardian writer, Keza MacDonald, is astonished that a millionaire works from 8 to 10 hours a day. Is this for real? Who reads The Guardian? Like, what is the target audience that they're like, oh my God, they work 8 hours a day. To 10 hours a day. And then they scan social media. Oh my God. So if my wife goes to the hospital and she works 10 hours a day, and then she comes home and spends time on Facebook, why isn't she a millionaire? Playing video games for an audience for a living sounds fun. Okay, no, I'll tell you something. It's probably why I don't do it, but see, I don't bitch about it. I don't whine about it. It's like, if I don't like something, I don't do it. Playing a video game on stream is so different than when you play a video game alone. Like, you think it's the same, but it's not. You have to entertain the chat and be good at the game. So while you're playing, you constantly need to look at the chat. And while you're thinking on what you're going to do in the game, especially if it's like a fast game where you need to make fast decisions, you also have to think what you're going to say to entertain the chat. It's very difficult. So it's work. It's not fun. But that's no problem. You know, like, you do it because you work, right? Like, this is your work. You work for a living. And if you fail, people mock you and laugh at you and ridicule you, and then they tune out, they unsubscribe, right? So, no, like, playing a game on a stream is not fun. All right? It's work. But that's fine, because that's why you're here. You're here to work. And if you don't like it, don't play video games. Do something else. Show booby. But it is also an ultra-competitive profession that attracts millions of aspiring kids with limitless energy and absolutely no concept of work-life balance. Is this person a woman? Keza. Yeah, it's a woman. Okay, let me tell you something, lady. For men, being a workaholic is fun. We enjoy this shit. It's not for everyone. Not everyone enjoys this shit. But most people who have a profession that they like doing, it's not that they don't find a work-life balance, that we literally enjoy this shit. For the last month, I have been doing nothing besides sitting my ass on this chair. I have done 4 videos and 1 live stream every single day. And I keep doing it because I like it. And I'm lucky enough not to have a wife that nags and complains because I'm not spending time with her. She's actually happy. I brought her a big TV. It's like, here's the TV, woman. Here's the remote. Knock yourself out. And when she started whining, I bought her a laptop and a PS5. And now she's leaving me alone. So, this is fun. I enjoy this. All right? It's not workaholic. It's not like I'm doing something that I don't like. It involves extreme hours. No, again, like for this lady, 8 hours a day, it's extreme hours. Pressure to be constantly available to the audience of viewers on whom they depend. And according to recently leaked Twitch data, careful clicking it because Destiny got banned, the top 1% of streamers on the platform received more than half of the $889 million. Fucking much. Millions made nothing at all. Yeah, but millions don't spend 8 to 10 hours a day, dumbass. There's a lot of streamers that, you know, they stream and they have like 1 or 2 subscribers. And believe it or not, they don't they don't expect to be famous. They do it because it's fun. It's actually fun, you know, like that's how I started. Like, no one starts thinking, yes, I'm going to become a thing. No, people start because they like it. It's fun. And you keep at it and you notice, oh, look, I started and I get like 20 subscribers. And it's like, oh, that's so nice. I got 20. And then you keep doing it and it's like, oh, more people are subscribing. Holy shit, I got 100 subscribers. Oh my God, this is so cool. Oh, hey everyone, I got 100 subscribers. I'm so excited. And then you keep doing it and doing it. And it's like, oh my God, 1,000? Holy, I never thought I would have 1,000. I never thought I would have 1,000 subscribers. Like, I'm a boring person. I have a squeaky voice. What is wrong with people? Why do they watch me? But, you know, like for a journalist, you just get hired by a corporation and then you get handed the audience to you. Let me see if I got any super chats. Oh, yeah, I do. Pro streaming is hard. Nice and hard, says, oh my God, it's awesome. I see what you did there. V, can I stop you at an airport, take a selfie, and get an autograph? No, because I don't go to airports. I'm not that fucking rich. There's like only once that I went to an airport was when I went to London. I swear, anyone who wants to go into journalism should be forced to pick fruits for 2 years prior. Oh my God. Do you know that they actually used to do that under communism, I believe? Like part of the reason we had military training, and they made absolutely sure that military training is as obnoxious and as difficult as possible. It was to make people appreciate how good they're having it, right? Is to let people know that there is far worse than what you're having right now with bitching. It actually worked. Like, mandatory military service. Probably why Israel is so right wing, right? One of the reasons. I don't know if it's right wing anymore, but it's kind of difficult to, it's like, oh, we should make things better. It's like, oh, maybe we shouldn't tinker with things because then it can go like as bad as it was when I was in the military. So anyway, to draw a comparison, about 4,000 years old, they are the generation's rock stars. You know, that's actually true. I mean, streamers for some kids are like rock stars. Unlike rock stars, however, streamers are not really known for hard partying. Talking to people around the table, I was indeed astonished and honestly worried by how hard they worked. Okay, I read this. When I asked the person what they do for fun, she seemed genuinely confused by the question. Playing video games for audience and for a living sounds like fun, and there are many jobs out there, but it is also ultra competitive, and millions of people are trying to do it. I was not surprised over the following years to read story after story about these energetic young people with what must have been like the best job in the world. It is the best job. It doesn't seem like it is. Okay? Period. It is the best job in the world. Especially if you're a millionaire. My fucking God. When you are broadcasting yourself so much of the time, when your hobby becomes your job and your job becomes your hobby, and when your personality becomes your brand and your brand becomes your personality, what does life offline look like for you? Who are you when the camera is off? Oh my fucking. Did they ask the shit of Johnny Depp or actors or other people? Oh my God, they're doing a job they like. This is not normal. They should suck coke at a corporation in a cubicle like normal people. The fact is, especially for up-and-coming streamers trying to make it in the crowd world of playing video games on the internet, the camera is almost never off. That's not true. Depends how much money you want to make, you know, like they're greedy, that's why they're doing it. I mean, okay, depends on the streamer and how many subs they're having. But I'm like, you know, if I make $50 on a stream, I'm happy. And if I make $50 on a stream, I stream for 1 hour. I'm pretty sure, like, if I was streaming all the day, and I would play video games and stuff, I'll probably make like $200. But like, again, like, why would I want to do that? People would probably get bored of me after a while. Sticking to a regular schedule is the best way to build an audience on Twitch. And those schedules regularly involve at least 8 hours of continuous streaming 5 days a week or more. You know, like, maybe it is, because I'm not aware of Twitch, which is why I'm not streaming on Twitch. Don't want to stream on Twitch. Please don't make me stream on Twitch. My sleep schedule shifted in the North American time zone because most of the people who were viewing my channel at the time were there, says a 36-year-old Cassie, founder of the Black Twitch UK network. I need to see what this is. This sounds lovely. Let's see what the Black Twitch TV UK network is. I have to watch an ad. Let's see what it is.
By owning the URL to the particular drawing, you are saying that you are owning a one of a kind artwork. That's no.
How long is this? So they're streaming for 2 hours. Okay. And they're playing video games. Oh, look, they're talking with people. Yeah, I can definitely see this is yes, very exhausting, very, very difficult. I can totally understand the pain. I know a guy who did bomb disposal in Afghanistan. I wonder what he thinks about bad work conditions. I don't think bomb disposal is that bad. Oh, I mean, like, depends. So like, if you're talking about like the military has bombs that expired and you need to make them go boom. Yeah, that's a fun job. But if you're talking about, oh my God, we found a potential bomb in the airport, like we need to call the bomb squad. Yeah, that sucks. That it sucks. Lord Average, I am beyond happy now. I have managed to fulfill my goal. I'm going to stop the stream now. Just kidding, keeping it on. See, this is me being a workaholic. This is how I get the burnout. So she streams under the name Geeky Cassie. Okay, hold on, Geeky Cassie. All right, let's see Geeky Cassie. Let's see who Geeky Cassie is. I'm curious, like, what the type of people did this reporter talk with? Oh, this is the one. No, no copyright. No copyright. All right, so this is Geeky Cassie. Okay, unironically, this looks great.
Yeah, that's me. You're probably wondering how I got myself into this situation.
Yes, how did you get yourself into this situation? All right. This is. I don't know if you guys can hear it. See, this is the problem. I got some headphones which only work if they're charged, and if I forget them on, they uncharge themselves. So the problem is that if I don't use headphones, then you guys can't hear. But this is actually wonderful. I want you guys to experience this with me. So I'll try. Let's see. Audio input. Oh, desktop audio. I think this is the one. So let's go to properties and switch to this one and tell me if you can hear it now. Let me know if you can hear Geeky Cassie. Oh shit, music. No music. No copyright. No copyright. Kubusk, don't go away. Stay for Geeky Cassie. Okay, people can hear Geeky Cassie. You can hear Geeky Cassie. All right. If you can hear Geeky Cassie, let's see how she got herself into this situation.
Bitch! Oh, you got the cops on us! You got the cops on us!
Okay, sis. Yeah, that's me. You're probably wondering how I got myself into this situation.
Oh, no. Yeah. Hold on. You know what I'm wondering? How the top donation. $285. Wow. How do I get that? How do I manage to? You know what, chat? I'm going to start following Geeky Cassie. Who's this? Ebonix. Why does Ebonix look like a succubus? Who's Ebonix? Wait, what was this? Geeky Cassie versus Ebonix. Let's see. Let's go. Let's go. All right. Geeky. Who better? We got Geeky Cassie and we got Ebonix. Let's see who do we win. My friend got his legs blown off. So very funny. I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, I took it back though. I said if it's about just getting bombs that the military doesn't use because they're expired, then yeah, that is a fun job. I mean, you get to see things go boom, right? And it's safe because you have experts. But if it's like, hey, we just got a bomb at the airport, please take it off, then yeah, that's not funny. That's probably a very difficult job. You don't have abstain. Wait, Ebonix is Black National? I didn't know that. Ebonix sounds American. I'm sorry. I got the mood ruined. Frank Durbin. You know, it's like my friend got his legs blown off. How was I supposed to know about that, Frank? How was I supposed to know about that? I can't take a time machine and take it back. Look what you did to me. Now I feel like an asshole, Frank. I feel like an asshole. I'm sorry. I apologize. It's not okay. It's not a fun job, Frank. It's not a fun job. But you know what? Streaming is better than that job. I do agree. Streaming is better. So, all right. Geeky Cassie wins. Fine. I think it's due to the name. Like, people like geeks. So, I would do my day at work, nap a bit, and then stream for up to 8 to 12 hours at night. I'd be absolutely beat. This is actually one of the... I don't think like it's a hazard job, but yeah, like a job hazard, I suppose you can call it. Your sleeping schedule is off, right? Because you don't have to wake up the next morning. You can go to sleep whenever you want. And if you have American viewers or something like that, you get to stay awake during the night. So you need to take into account this. And by the way, like sleeping during the day and being awake at night sucks so bad. It sucks because when you wake up, almost all the stores are closed. You can't go out with friends because everyone is sleeping. You can't even talk to people because everyone is sleeping. So yeah, it really, really sucks. I do agree. But, you know, every job has its difficulties. It's not something that is unexpected. Like, for example, if you work at McDonald's, you have to stay in the heat and deal with angry customers. I mean, and again, you make millions of dollars for it. So anyway, she was not surprised over the following years to read story after story about these energetic young people with what seemed like the best job in the world burning out. When you are broadcasting yourself so much of the time, when your hobby becomes your job and blah, 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 who are you when the camera is off? It's like, okay, go and interview some people on a construction site and then tell me how they're feeling. Go interview Frank's friend. Frank. What's wrong with you, Frank? Why you did that? Why? Just think. Ooh, $285. Jesus. Is Frank still here? I think Frank left. I want to talk to Frank now. Anyway. Let's go back. At the time, Cassie was living at home with her mom, whose cooking and care enabled these ridiculous hours. Yeah, like, honestly, I'm so lucky to have a wife. Because if she wasn't cooking for me, it would be very difficult to do this. But before the wife, I would just order food. And it would make me fat. So there's that. There's absolutely no way that I could do that now. I don't really feel like we should be encouraging it, she says. I see young streamers do these like 24-hour live gaming marathons, then have an hour sleep, and then later that day I'll see photos of them skating outside on Insta. And like, how are they doing this? What is going on? Yeah, it's called the fact that they're young, and it's called the fact that they're used to it. For example, doctors do this. Like, they go to the hospital, they stay 24 hours, they sleep for 1 hour, and then they go back. Burnout is an incredible real thing in gaming. Says Pokemon. Oh, we got Pokemon. Pokemon complaining about that. Yeah. Who has put in thousands of hours to become the most popular female on streamer on Twitch. A streamer says their own work hours that it can be easy to fall into the trap of streaming 8 to 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's frightening because people grind crazy long hours and see results, hence why so many do it. I veered away from doing extreme hours of live streaming in an effort to upkeep my mental health, and I found that it aids in the longevity on the longevity of my career. Now she streams in short bursts, but even so, only usually takes a day off a week to spend with friends or relaxing. Dude, she's a millionaire. Okay? Look how sloppy her room is. Look what the mess. Like my room doesn't look like this. This is disgraceful. Why would you put the chips on the ground, you savage? Take them to the kitchen. It takes like 30 seconds. Jesus. Yeah, like Pokimane the millionaire is like, oh yes, well I can do this and that. Yeah, you're a millionaire. Shut the fuck up. The reasons for these ultra demanding hours are simple. The more you broadcast, the greater your chance of being featured on Twitch's homepage. The more followers you can get, and the more money you might make. The chances of achieving the kind of success seen by the world's most popular gamers who earn millions a year from sponsorship, fan subscription. Okay, so like Pokimane. It is no wonder then that many streamers end up obsessed with the numbers in graph and invisible algorithms that determine their fate. No, I think most of them get obsessed with the terms of service. It's like, oh my god, did I say something? Did I do something? And then it's like the fact that they're greedy assholes. Stop being greedy. If you make $50 a stream, it's fine. Well, okay, maybe not, because let's say the prices are higher in the United States. Let's see. How much money would you need to make per stream? $200? No, $200 is too much. Because $200 a day would mean 2,000 in 10 days. No, that is ridiculous. What about $100? So yeah, I think like $100 for a streaming job. I mean, if you're alone living in an apartment, meh, why not? $150, okay, $150. You do $150 a day. That's fine. Especially because some days you can make more. And this is only if you live in America. Now, if you live in California now, then maybe you shouldn't be streaming. Because then it's way too expensive. What do you think, chat? Did Frank leave? Did I upset Frank? Frank, I didn't want to upset you. Come on. Come back, Frank. You know what? I'll give you a wrench. Here we go. I feel bad because of Frank. Fucking hell. Let's talk about DSP. What do you want me to talk about DSP? I don't know. Like, I haven't followed him in ages. I used to be a DSP fan, unironically. It was back when he was playing Street Fighter. I was a huge DSP fan. Wait, DSP has a take about supply chain. What does DSP think about supply chains? Can anyone put me in the loop? It's kind of a boomer take. Your job isn't as hard as a construction worker, and I think there are no real advantages, only trade-offs. Well, no, because, like, okay, let's be honest. There is a massive difference between a physical demanding job, which you have people dying of heart attacks at old age, and not only that, but you have to work in the cold, you have to work in the rain, you have to work in the winter. You have to work with other construction workers, and if you don't do a good job, they're going to start to bully you. Versus, you get to sit your ass in your own bedroom and talk to the camera. Yeah, you know, okay, fine, trade-offs and what have you, and blah, blah, blah. There is no way you can convince me that construction work is easier than streaming. No. I don't think it's a boomer take. I think it's real. This is why I respect construction workers, because they do a hard job. I respect the construction worker far more than I respect a streamer, because I know what it is to be a streamer, right? That doesn't mean like I don't respect the streamer as a person, but like given what they do, given the quality of work that they do, I think we can live in a society without streamers, but we can't live in a society without construction workers. I don't know. Maybe just putting it out. Pokimane is a textbook champagne socialist. Her and Hassan eat the rich piker. Did she ever stream with Hassan? She probably did, didn't she? It's kind of difficult to tell if these people are legitimately socialist or they're just saying what they need to say. Like, if Pokimane would put a MAGA hat on, she would be banned from Twitch in a second, right? So she needs to say the things. Like, she needs to say the correct things. So it's difficult. I wonder if Pokimane even thinks about politics. Like, if she actually even understands the gobbledygook that she is spewing about political issues. right? Like if you put Pokemon with I don't know, Steven Crowder in a room, and they talk about politics, do you honestly think that Pokemon is going to make some strong arguments? You know, maybe she will. I don't know, but like it would be interesting. However, even if Pokemon would be right winger, you know, she goes to the voting booth where no one gets to see her, and she stamps that R. She would probably realize it's against her interests to talk about it. Oh, she streamed with Hassan and AOC. Yeah, so why would she admit if she's a Republican? Why on earth would she do that? Like, if she can get not only like she risks getting banned, but she gets exposure with Hassan and AOC. Look at Destiny. Destiny is still left wing, but you know, he's got some right wing takes here and there, and immediately he gets demonetized, unpartnered from Twitch, suspended. You think Destiny gets to stream with AOC? No, he doesn't. You think Destiny gets to stream with Hassan? Probably not. I don't know. Yeah, maybe, but definitely not with AOC. My God, I saw what's his name, Bomber guy, and AOC came to his stream. Oh my fucking God, like the way he reacted. If you're a man, the moment the first pube appears on your testicle, you should never act the way H Bomber guy acted next to AOC, right? Like, never act like that in the presence of a woman. It is demeaning. It is going to make you be... Like, she's never going to look at you like a man ever again. Let's put it like this. Like, she's going to look at you as if you're a child. Imagine Pokemon advocating the labor theory of... Why would you want to do a stream with Hassan? To make money. You make money, Disco Cadenza. Is Dark Matter 2525 full social justice? I don't know. I stopped following the atheists. Again, I know things behind the scenes because I use YouTube. Many streamers are right-wing. Why? Not because of social issues, not because of anything, because taxes. They don't like paying taxes, okay? So many streamers, even YouTubers, are really, really right-wing. But when on the camera, they pretend they are leftist. And there's other reasons, you know, like, for example, they don't fear the terms of service. They get more freedom. And on top of that, they get larger audiences because the algorithm promotes them. They get hoisted up like a petard. So many people, you know, it's kind of why some people who used to be right-wing a couple of years ago are now leftist as hell. Not gonna give names because I don't want, you know, to have their community on my channel. Plus, I can't show receipts. So, and if I start giving names, then they won't talk to me. So they just like, it is what it is. Let's put it like this. It is what it is. Taxation is theft. Yeah. You know, like, let me put it this way. Even people who don't think that taxes are inherently evil, if you're in a welfare system and you pay more, like far more than you're getting in return, yeah, it is kind of theft. And not only that, I think, like, there needs to be a limit on taxation. You know, like they keep saying, oh, a limit on income. Let's put a limit on taxation. How about that? Let's stop taxing people like 60% of what they make. PewDiePie is pretty right-wing, yeah. But I'm not talking about PewDiePie. Like, PewDiePie doesn't give a fuck, right? Like, even if they ban PewDiePie, he made enough money in order to sustain himself. And PewDiePie can go on DLive or whatever the fuck there's out there, and he can just make money there. PewDiePie doesn't really need to stay, you know, on YouTube or whatever. Like, it's why they don't ban him, because they realize this. Like, if PewDiePie would go on another platform, everyone would follow him. It is what it is, but what is it? Acting or just lying and pretending no one noticed? Yeah, it's acting. Why do you think it's so different? Do you think that I wouldn't be able to make some really strong leftist arguments if I wanted to? I mean, I already made one. You're going to have to wait to see my video today. You'll see. I can make left-leaning arguments. Some of them I even believe, like the transgender thing. It's like, yeah, just identify as a different gender. What's the problem? Like, get the perks. Why are you stupid? So you can make some arguments. But yeah, would I be more successful if I made leftist arguments? Probably. Yeah, but I'll tell you what. Even if I wouldn't be more successful, I'd sleep a lot easier at night. I would be like, oh my god, I said something on a stream. Oh, is it problematic? Pewds could legitimize any new streaming service they want. Yes, he could. It's why they don't mess with him. Even when he says hurtful things. Omicron is an anagram of moronic. My god, I keep hearing this all over and over. Yeah, I know. I know. By the way, wasn't like the White House giving money to streamers who were encouraging people to get vaccinated? Look what I'm missing. Look how much I'm missing for not doing the right thing. Pewds is a left-leaning center-right guy. He just keeps getting kicked further down the right by the enemy. Oh, PewDiePie is very woke on the journalistic agenda. Let's put it like this. So anyway, right. While creators face the same challenges as the rest of the digital generation, stress and burnout occurs more often in this community because of the pressure of expectation from their audience, says the CEO of Healthy Gamer, an organization that provides mental health service for the digital generation, including specific well-being coaching for streamers. Is this a sponsored article, Guardian? Do you want me to check out Healthy Gamer? Let me check out Healthy Gamer. I'm curious what their prices must be. Mental health by gamers for gamers. Oh my fucking god. Can I get mental health by psychiatrists for gamers? Well, actually, you know what? Psychiatrists can play video games too. Join the list to work with a coach. Affordable, accessible mental health support. Will they give me drugs, though? Do they give me pills? Apply to be a Healthy Gamer coach and do good work for good people at a fair wage. So not only do I have to play games, but I can also be a coach? That is good. Let's see what they do. Regain control of your life. For many people, gaming is healthy, productive way to distress fun. Healthy Gamer is blah, blah, blah. Clinical experience with over 100 gamers tells us that the abstinence isn't necessarily the best way to overcome video gaming addiction. You know, this is actually a serious issue, unironically. Like, playing games is fine, but if you're addicted, yeah, it can suck. You know, I shouldn't make fun of them. But to be honest, I make fun of everything that has to do with psychology, simply because I've been to psychologists and I don't think it works. Go to a priest, it's free. Priests don't charge money. Psychologists, they try to rip you off. Yeah, it's an ad. You know, it's you go to the article, you read about streamers, and then it's like, hey, you're a gamer. Why don't you go to Healthy Gamer? Give him a organization that provides mental health. Everything from burnout to stress and imposter syndrome can make streamers consider quitting. Man, did you notice that medicine has evolved to the point where everyone is sick? Like, there are no more healthy people on Earth. Now you have PTSD, you get imposter syndrome, you get the autismo, you get like literally every single thing under the sun. Where I am curious if there is a single person, like if you take a human being, right? And you give him to a psychologist, do you think there is a person that is actually 100% healthy? And got nothing wrong with them? Imposter syndrome. You know, like, there's shit that comes out that no one heard about them 5 years ago. Imposter syndrome. Fucking hell. Imposter syndrome is loosely defined as doubting your abilities and feeling like a fraud. Oh my fucking god. Oh, so most people don't do that. It's only just a handful of people that have it. It makes it difficult for people to accept their accomplishments. Many question whether they're deserving. Dude, everyone has it. Everyone. I don't think there's a single person that... I mean, maybe there are, but whatever. But it's like, yeah, I don't think I deserve it. Look, I just got $5 from Zenith. I don't deserve that shit. Yeah, okay, I got imposter syndrome. Now do I need pills or do I need to pay a psychologist to try to fix me? Psychology is a fake science. They don't even get a bachelor in science. It's not that it's a fake science. It's not a science. I'll tell you what science is. Science is applying the scientific theory. Hypothesis, experiment, and then the reproducibility of the experiment. How the fuck can you do the science to prove imposter syndrome? Like, what is the scientific method that you can use to fucking... I don't know. I like Romania, but I think Hungary is nice. It depends on the city, man. Sounds up like made-up Marxist language. Sounds up like they're making bullshit after bullshit, so people go there and give them money. Now, I'm not saying that there aren't psychological problems. I'm not saying that, okay? I'm sure there are. But when you look at all the diagnoses, I wonder if there is a single healthy person out there that psychologists would say, you know what? There's nothing wrong with you. You're fine. Imposter syndrome is what weak people call it. Wanting to do better is what everyone else calls it. Oh shit. Oh fuck. That is so good. That is so good. Oh yes. Imposter syndrome is what weak people call it. Wanting to be better is what everyone else calls it. I'm diagnosed with PTSD, BPD. Oh, okay, look, I'll tell you why it's bullshit. All right. I think there's even a comedian that talked about it. So you have World War I, and you have people that are suffering from shell shock. And this happens when you're under enemy bombardment for a couple of weeks. So imagine a very loud bang. It's kind of difficult to explain just how loud it is. Probably a bang that's enough to get blood coming out of your ears, all right? And then that's the sound, the music that you're going to hear for the next several days as the enemy just bombards your trenches. And you see, like maybe your colleagues getting blown to bits and there's arms falling everywhere because, like maybe a bomb actually did hit the trench. And you're wondering when's the one that's going to come and end you. But, luckily you survive. So now you have shock. You have shell shock, right? That's what it's called. The 50 yard, the 1,000 yard stare. Now, experts don't really like the idea of shell shock because it's like, well, like it gives soldiers an out. So let's change it. Let's call it battle fatigue, right? So now it's just something normal that happens to everyone, but it's fatigue. You get out of it, you snap out of it in time, and then you're ready to go back to battle. You just need some R&R. Okay. Then they called it post-traumatic stress syndrome, right? So PTSD. Now, notice how they completely removed what it actually was. It's the idea that it's like, well, you're in the trench and bombs are falling. And it's like such a harrowing experience that it just breaks the human mind. Now it's PTSD. It's like something that doesn't even have to do with battle. It's something that people get on the Twitter, right? Because that's the thing. It's like it's PTSD, right? So you need help for it. But then they also include, okay, well, just like a soldier who sits in the trenches experiences horror, so can a person who's been molested. Maybe. I don't know how you can compare them. Like, I really don't know how you can compare them. But if I was given the choice, I would probably choose molested than to go into the trenches. Just saying. Like, personal choice. But I don't know if other people are as broken as I am. Like, it's maybe other people have different preferences. But okay, like, all right. So the experience of a person that's being molested is the same like the person that sits in trenches. Perhaps. All right. Fine. But then it's like, no, it's also people who got PTSD from Twitter. And now you lost me. Like now I'm 100% lost. You cannot find me. I am so lost. I need help. Please, someone get me out of here. Because now you're comparing the experience that you're getting on Twitter to be the exact same as the experience of a soldier in the trenches. That is absolutely just, I don't know. Or not only that. So you're comparing the experience you get from the Twitter with the experience of someone getting molested. Because it's still PTSD, right? So, like you go to a psychologist, and a psychologist listens to you and then charges you money. Now, here's something interesting, and I'm telling you this as a recent discovery. And maybe people don't take me seriously, but you should try it. Look, if you have problems, do try it. I'm telling you this as an atheist. Go to a priest. All right? I don't know if it's a Catholic, if it's a Christian, if it's Orthodox, right? Try this. Just try this, because before psychology, you had the clergy, right? And the difference between a psychologist and a priest is that the priest is for free. And the priest is going to actually give you advice about anything you want, all right? They're not going to tell you have depression, but they're going to tell you to do something, right? So go to a priest, tell them you're an atheist, but tell them like you really want to try it, because you went to psychology and you have this problem and you want to see what the religion perspective on life is. And like, surely you must have a religious friend. I don't care if it's Christian, Jewish, Muslim, whatever, okay? Rabbi, it doesn't matter, all right? Go and ask him, can you recommend to me a holy man that does a good job? And I'm telling you, as an atheist, I got more help from a priest than I have ever got from psychologists. It actually works. All right? I don't know if satanic priests do. I don't think they deal with confessions. Why is my take on PTSD turning you off, Frag? It's actually the history of the diagnosis. Like, it's how it started and how it went. It's not like you can feel free to look it up. It's not something that's controversial as far as I know. You don't need to like religion. Like, you don't need to be a religious person. What I am telling you is that because priests constantly have to listen to other people's problems, they develop a wisdom. And when the priest is old, and the entire religion has like an entire philosophy of understanding the human element, he's actually going to give you good advice. Like, the priest might actually give you good advice. And tell him you're an atheist. Like, tell him you don't believe in a religion. Tell him you don't like it, blah, blah, blah. But you're willing to give it a chance. You're willing to at least see what the perspective of religion is to the problems that you're having. Right? So there you go. Is this sponsored by the Orthodox? Well, it's sponsored by my lived experience. And I said, you don't have to go to the Orthodox Church. You can go to a rabbi. You can go, like, I have so many people of different religions, all right? Like Abdi Muhammad, for example, subscriber of mine. He says that the people that helped him out are his father and his imam. There is a reason why the church existed, is to connect people. It brings a community together. And they have the experience of thousands of years on how to deal with people's problems. Just try it out. Like, don't diss it till you try it. Give it a try and then tell me how it went. Do it like that. Or don't, whatever. Yeah, you're not going to get trigger warnings from a priest. At least there's that. +1 bigot. In the end, psychology offers no redemption. It's not about redemption. It's just like, look, I have a problem. I want to go and get that problem fixed. There's good and bad people in every profession. Finding a good one of anything can be very hard. Psychology is not medicine. Psychiatry is medicine. If I was a man who likes religion, I would like Buddhism. Well, go to what do Buddhists have? It's not a Buddha. Buddha is the person who achieves enlightenment. Go to whatever Buddhists have as priests, as holy men. What are they called? Go to one of those. I'm just telling you, like, they can do a better job than a psychologist. You know why? You know why? Because it's free. It's fucking free. You don't pay money. All right? And when they're not interested in milking you of money, then they might treat you and actually solve your issue. A psychologist is interested in you returning to their office the next day. That's why you're paying them. It's a subscription. They want you to come back. Monks? Yeah, go to a monk then. No, I think like monk is different. Like monks are the ones that, Shinto. Yeah, go whatever. I don't know. I'm not well versed in Buddhism. I do know it's a really nice philosophy though. Unfortunately, there is none in my town because I would really try it out. If I didn't believe in God, I'd be religious. Really? I thought Romania had socialized healthcare and mental health was covered by your taxes. No, absolutely not. Mental health is very different than actual health in Romania. In fact, mental health still comes with stigma. And the reason for this is that the socialists, they use this thing called punitive psychiatry, which means that if you are a problem for the regime, and they didn't want to make a huge fuss with you going to trial, what they did is that they labeled you as crazy, and then they would lock you in a psychiatry ward, and you would be pumped up with drugs and tied to a bed, and that was your life from now on. And if you were, like, for example, a writer or something, and people started reading your stuff, it's like, hey, don't you know that this guy is crazy? Do you want to read his stuff and become crazy as well? So now there is this connection into the mind of the people, because after decades of this shit, it ended up with, like, people not treating mental health seriously. Like, people are afraid of talking about mental health. And it's a irrational fear, because now no one takes them to punitive psychiatry. But it was for the health of the people, by the way. It's a very nice thing when you think about it, what the government did. Yeah, it was free medical health care under communism. Yes, mental health patients were taken to the punitive psychiatry in order for their safety, of course, because they could harm themselves or others. So in order to make it more safe, they would take people. It's on Wikipedia. Just go for punitive psychiatry. I'm actually curious if I can find it. Hold on, let me check on Wikipedia. Punitive psychiatries. Yeah, it's why Eastern Europe has a distaste towards the profession. Oh, look, it's here. It's here. Oh my god. Political abuse of psychiatry, also known as punitive psychiatry, is the misuse of psychiatry, including diagnosis, detention, and treatment. And what do you mean misuse? It was by the experts. The scientific consensus, all psychiatrists agreed it was a good thing. For the purpose of obstructing the human rights of individuals and or groups in society. Oh no, you say? Oh my god. In other words, abuse of psychiatry includes that for political purposes is the deliberate actions of having citizens psychiatrically diagnosed who need neither psychiatric restraint nor psychiatric treatment. Psychiatrists have been involved in human rights abuses in states across the world when the definition of mental disease were expanded to include political disobedience. As scholars have long argued, government and medical institutions code menaces to authority as mental disease turning political disturbances. Nowadays, in many countries, political prisoners are sometimes confined and abused in psychiatric hospitals. You don't say. No, I can't believe that would happen. No. That is just... That is so weird. That is so bizarre. Why would anyone do something like this? How can the people go with something like that? No, surely that would never happen. Yes. Scientists doing something like using medicine for human rights abuses. Oh my god. I don't believe it. I think Wikipedia needs to take down that article. Fun. By the way, here's something else that's interesting. I remember actually having an argument. I will look up physiognomy, but no. I remember an argument that I had with a friend from Austria, and it was 4 years ago. And the argument that I had was like this: Austria at the time wanted to ban smoking from public buildings. Because you need to understand the mentality of the Austrian. And I think anyone from Austria will agree with me. And it's the same mentality that the Germans are having to some part. But the mentality is like this: what's good for me is good for everyone. That is what every single Austrian is thinking. What's good for me is good for society. And unfortunately, I am smart. Other people are morons. And in order to get the morons to understand, they need coercion. So not Adolf Hitler. I'm talking about the average Australian, the average Austrian today. Right? Like, this is how they think, because I have a lot of Austrian friends. I know what I'm talking about. So they think, if it's good for me, it's good for everyone. Right? And and I am smart, everyone else is dumb. And dumb people need to be forced to do the good thing. They even talk about the greater good and shit. That's whatever. And we were talking about smoking at the time, and it was the idea of not smoking in public places. And there was such a hysteria that even in the UK, like, for example, you weren't able to smoke in your own car. It's like, what the fuck? It's my car. Whatever. And I was telling him, it's like, why shouldn't people smoke? And he was, because it's bad for their health. All right, like, this reduces smoking. And I'm like, but if someone wants to hurt themselves, what is the problem? Oh, no, because smoking hurts other people, right? Because you go in a public place and you smoke and other people inhale the smoke, so you shouldn't do it. I see. But what if we make, like, public places, like, have a separate place for smoke? No. People shouldn't smoke. Okay. And I'm like, all right, so where do you draw the line? Is there a line to be drawn? Like, is there something that, like, for example, people shouldn't be obese? Should we ban sugar? Should we ban alcohol? No, we should tax it. Oh, I see. But what if in the future, like, the government would force people to do things that they don't want? Like, let's say they would force people to exercise 2 hours a day. Oh, no, that would never happen. It's like, why? Oh, because we have a constitution, because human rights, because they would never do something like that. Yeah, I had to seize the argument. I didn't have anything else to add. I couldn't say anything else about that. He was right, I was wrong. If you hurt yourself, you hurt your ability to pay taxes. Yes. It's pretty much the reason you wear a seatbelt, I think. Here's another one. I was reading old articles. It's a hobby of mine now. And one of the old articles that I was reading was during the refugee crisis. It was in the UK. And they were talking about how there's many, like, there was an AI which was invented, and it could tell a person's age. And it seemed that many of the refugees that came in the UK, they were claiming they're 18-year-old, but in reality they were over 18. And I'm pretty sure everyone knew it, but like, they would get special perks if they were under 18. So you had, I think it was the UKIP party, which came up with the idea. It's like, all right, well, we can find out if they're over 18 or not. Just do an X-ray, and you can look at the hands, the bone structure in their hands, and you can tell if they're 18 or not. No, we can't do that. Why not? Because you can't force medical procedures on unwilling people. I see. I agree. Human rights violations. You couldn't. Human rights violation. It's so interesting watching old videos. Yes. People wouldn't lie, right? So you trust them. What else? Oh, yeah. This is another... it's racist for you to check, yes. By the way, this is a story that I have from a woman, and you should believe all women, right? So she's from Germany. And from what she told me, and again, this is unverified, take it with a grain of salt. She goes, she's very hot, good looking, and she goes into the mall. She has to show the green pass, whatever, she gets into the mall. And then, later during the night, the security guards call her. And it's like, oh, I'm the security guard from the mall, and I saw you. It's like, hey, do you want to hang out? And she is disgusted about this, like she's a little bit revolted, blocks the number, and then thinks it's like, how the fuck did he get the number? And, like they say that when you scan that green thingy, the QR code, they say that they don't store the information. And it's true, they don't store it. But there's nothing stopping the guy from looking and memorizing the number. Because if you see a number, you can just and you memorize it. So why the fuck is that guy having access to someone's information? With what right is a security guard from a fucking mall having access to that information? Is beyond me. But again, take it with a grain of salt. Unverified information, right? Just putting it out there, because like security is important. We shouldn't, like stop and frisk is very, very problematic. Yes. Maybe I should go to sleep because I'm making the stream problematic. Asking too many questions, like about procedure. By the way, it's very harmful. You shouldn't. Yeah, wasn't it like asking people for papers a Nazi thing like 3 years ago? Was it like just don't ask people about I felt like asking people for papers is racist. Now it's mandatory in some places. I'm also curious, like, what the fuck is that security guard doing? Like, is he getting the numbers of all the women in that day and then calling them one after another? That is so sick. Women shouldn't be offended when men ask them out, I guess, but I think like people don't like it when their privacy is being leaked. I think that's what it's more offensive. It's not that the security guard was asking her out, right? Because if the security guard was asking her out there and then, it would have been one thing. It's the fact that he had access to her phone number. That's the problematic thing. Hi V, have a bag of buttered popcorn. Jesus, do you know how much you gave me? Like, I would get fat with all that popcorn. It's way too much popcorn. More popcorn than I can have. What kind of person watches a V-stream and doesn't upvote it? No person. No person at all. A filthy little rata. Why did I make you a mod? Because I felt bad, Frank. You unloaded all of that guilt onto me. Hell is wrong with you? You fill me with guilt, Frank. You made it so that I can never sleep with the same peace of mind that I used to have. But I'll tell you something else, all right? I'll tell you something that you probably don't hear anywhere else now that I'm talking about the thing. It's not really to blame 100% on the politicians. The main problem, unfortunately, if you're a person that doesn't like this situation, has to be with the people. Because in Romania, the politicians did nothing. And the people wanting Daddy to help them had voices that were so loud that the politicians eventually had to do something just to do it. So, like people blame the politicians the same way the left blames Trump. It's not the man in power. It's the people that vote for the person in power. Now, there are certain countries, not gonna lie, there are certain places where people have no choice, right? Like all the politicians agree. But there are also countries where the people themselves, like for example in Austria, yes, the people themselves are supporting every single measure that the government has taken. And in that situation, if you're a politician, there's nothing you can do. So yes. No. It's not about like people paying the politician. Look, there was a survey in Germany, I think, asking whether or not people should be like it should be illegal not to be vaccinated. So we're not talking about work or going to the mall. No, like illegal to exist without taking it. And 2/3 of Germans said yes. Like they want that law, they want that legislation, right? So when you have that, I mean, it's the people who want it. You know, it's the will of the people at that point. There's nothing you can do. It's like you can't blame the politicians, you can't blame the government. It's literally what the people want. Probably in California now. Yeah, I don't know. But you know, like you can't have Florida everywhere. New Zealand had a big day. The government is allowing them to use the bathroom. New Zealand is another example. You know, like people were happy with the way New Zealand went. Honestly, I was expecting New Zealand to go the way of Australia, but did you see that Australian Prime Minister? He had the AOC eyes when he was ranting at the camera. It was very funny. I loved it. Survey and polls are not real. They justify whoever pays for it. See, that's wrong, and I'll tell you why. At least here in Europe, like I don't know how it's in America, but politicians, they genuinely need to know the will of the people. And they need to make survey and polls in order to do that. Now, if you're a one of these surveys or poll companies, and you keep giving massive errors, no one is going to hire you. Like there are many survey and poll companies that went bankrupt because they failed to predict an election or because they failed to predict something. Maybe like predicting the will of the people when it comes to, you know, like a small situation. Yeah, okay, fine. But when it comes to elections and shit like that, if they fail, like for example, if they were to say that 2/3 of Germans want a law, and then the law passes and 2/3 of Germans are protesting in the street, yeah, the company is never going to work ever again. Like no one is going to hire them. Now, in the US, maybe things are different. I don't know. But I'm telling you about Europe. I mean, look at Brexit, right? Most polls were actually showing that people want Brexit. I mean, it wasn't a secret. That's why they stopped showing polls after a while. You can rig a poll by 2 or 3%, you know, because they have like the margin of error, so that's fine. But if you genuinely like push a fake poll out there, like let's say a poll would say 10% of people want Brexit, that would never pass. Like that company would never work again. He did have the AOC eyes, yes, Marcotto. Exactly. I was looking at it. It was like, oh. Like, take AOC eyes in Photoshop and place them over the Australian Prime Minister, and you get a 100% match. Do you know about Benford's Law? No, I don't. Germany has companies that are very near to one another, and they produce interesting results. All right, whatever. Let's go back to this. So, which is the one? Like, there was a streamer that said, "I'm not going to die for you," playing video games, and I'm thinking, like, dude, you're spending time in your bedroom. Oh, hold on. For Cassie, finding a way to make streaming work has meant reconceptualizing what success means. Being a black woman, you end up working 3 times harder to get maybe half of what someone else has got. Oh my fuck. Doesn't Twitch have like a diversity program which promotes black creators just like YouTube does? Don't they have like a program which promotes women because they're women? Don't we live in a society where like, oh my fucking god, I just whatever. Yes, absolutely. Yes, being a black woman is very hard on Twitch. 100%, yes. Success is not being at the ninja level these days. If I'm tired, you're not going to see me because I'm gonna die. I'm not gonna die on the internet for you. I mean, yeah, you know, like imagine having a job, you know, like being a doctor, and you go to the hospital, and you know you're on call, and the cases keep coming and coming and coming, and you haven't slept for 23 hours, and you tell the boss, you know what, I'm tired, I'm going to go to bed, because I'm not going to die for you. It's like, look, you can't do this unless you're a streamer. You can't complain about your job. It's great. All right? It's absolutely fantastic. You're already being promoted by the corporation. And if you're not, if you still don't pull in the numbers, I guess there's other people more entertaining. What can I say? I actually wanted to subscribe to Cassie. I wanted to subscribe to Cassie. I wanted to be a geeky Cassie fan. What is the geeky Cassie community? I don't know. Probably, oh shit, I forgot to share it. What is the Geeky Cassie community? The Cassinators? The Geekinators? I don't know. Do you notice that all streamers have a weird name, like a weird pet name for their community? It is very cringe. Black women are tired. Yeah. Like you keep hearing a lot of people on Twitter. It's like, oh, I am tired. And I'm like, so go to sleep. Why are you complaining? Go to sleep. Where Hassan Piker, people were like to stop eating on stream. Do you want me to die? Yeah, it's another thing. It's like I would never eat on a stream. It's so fucking weird. Just take a break. But they're greedy. Like this is why I don't get. It's like people like Hassan Piker. Okay, you got the $1 million mansion. You won. Okay, you have won. Why do you keep doing this? Like, there is no need to work like a workaholic. Is Hassan Piker even married? Like, that, does he have obligations? Like, I genuinely don't understand. Like, if I were to have a $3 million house, I can retire. First of all, okay, here's the kicker. I wouldn't buy a $3 million house. All right? I have my $100,000 little hacienda here that I need to pay mortgage for. But let's say I had $3 million. I can buy 30 more haciendas. I can rent all of them. And then I take the money from rent and I can retire for life. Well, I mean, Hassan Piker is a communist. He would never. I know. But that's what you do, right? Because and by the way, normally I would start a business. But given the fact that there's constant lockdowns and shit, I wouldn't start a business because I don't know. I really don't know. Like, do I start a business and then they lock it down? Boom. Hassan Piker literally lives with his mom. All right, so he doesn't need to make millions of dollars. Why does he eat on a stream? Makes absolutely no sense. Why did you try to correct me, Cassiel? What is it? Why I correct? Hassan, the champagne socialist, I doubt he could even fight. No, I think Hassan could kick people's ass. He looks well built. Give credit where credit is due. All right, Hassan Piker is capable of defending himself. $1 million house mortgage is about $6,000 a month. That is just wow. And I think his house is like $3 billion. Yeah, of course eating on stream, it bothers me. Why Why would I want to watch someone stuffing their face? It's not professional. It's your job. Act professional. Mike N could destroy Hassan Piker. Look, I'm not saying there aren't people stronger than Hassan Piker, but still. Like, I was actually doing this, like I was thinking, look, on the right, there's so many people that, like, if it would be a sporting match, like cage fighting between left-leaning and right-leaning famous people. I mean, on the right, you have Joe Rogan. You have, I think, Count Dankula. I wouldn't be ashamed with Count Dankula. I mean, he can hold his own. Who else do we have that's capable on the right? I think even Steven Crowder before the heart surgery. Like right now, I don't think it's. But okay, Alex Jones. Oh my God, like Alex Jones is beefed up. And then you look who would be on the left. Like on the left, the people that can really kick ass are the ones that work at the Cuomo Nepotism Network. You have Don Lemon. I mean, he looks built. And the one that just got fired. Chris, I believe, yeah. He looks built as well. He will throw you down the stairs. Call him Fredo, he throws you down the stairs. All right, so those are the left heavyweights. And then you have Hassan Piker and you have Cenk Uygur. Joe Rogan is not on the left. Okay? Like, the Hodge twins. Oh my God, the Hodge twins can kick ass. The Hodge twins, yeah. They're definitely capable. One of the Hodge twins holds you, the other one applies the punishment. A Hodge twins holds you, the other one applies the corrections. Jones would wreck all those people. I said that, and then I saw Alex Jones without a shirt. He's like Fisk from Marvel Comics. You think he's fat, but he's all beefed up. So when Anna Kasparian went like, get off the stage, you fat. No, like, dude, like, you don't know. Like, the Alex Jones has got muscles. He's ripped. Man, even Sargon. Like, Sargon did rock climbing. Dude, the guy has an arm the size of 2 of my legs. Tim Pool, Tim Pool is probably good at running away. Tim Pool can keep them distracted. Yeah, he's getting a skateboard and he runs away. Tim Pool actually did get physical at one point. Well, he didn't get violent, but he got really, really angry. I think there was a fan that tried to steal his mini beanie. Like, someone put a hit on his hat. Like, someone put a fatwa on Tim Pool's beanie. And a fan actually took it. And my God, like, he got so aggressive. Like, he got so aggressive. And I think there's video evidence with him. It was really funny. It's like hysterical. But if I was Tim, it's like, look, if I'm going with my fans and whatnot, I would have like 3 beanies on me. And like, someone steals a beanie, I put another on. But yeah, I think that's a soft spot with Tim Pool. It's kind of like AIU. I got him to block me because I made fun of his capillary treasure. Sargon fought Antifa before. Oh yeah, I saw that. Like, if you pause the video, you can see the exact frame where the Antifa guy shot himself. So Sargon was at the conference. I think it was some university. And you have the Antifa like bursting in the room. And one Antifa like literally walks up to Carl. And Carl just presses his hand on his shoulder. Like it's not even... Like, it wasn't even in an aggressive manner. It was just like the touch of Jesus, the touch of God. Because that Antifa guy shot himself. Like, you can see it on his facial expression. As he immediately recognizes the error of his ways. Like, the horror in his eyes as he realizes that this guy has an arm, like a hand, bigger than his entire shoulder. It's kind of weird, you know, like you go all pumped up with your buddies and you walk up to the guy and then you realize that the guy is 10 times bigger than you. It's like, oh shit. No one had the bounty on his beanie. It was a guy who thought Tim remembered him and was cool with him. Oh, I see. Still, it's like the recording is funny. Oh yeah, the guy that chucked shoes at President Bush. I love that President Bush activated Ultra Instinct and dodged both shoes with style. I don't think Biden could do that. Like he wouldn't have the George Bush Ultra Instinct. The dodging of the shoe. Sargon can still paint miniatures with his hands, it's true. Anyway, I think I should end it here. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for listening. And hopefully you enjoyed. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Take care.